We're doing it.
We're bumping.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hardly Working Podcast. My name is Matt Benor, and today's guest is Cameron Logsdon. Or
Yeah.
Do you prefer
Are
Cam
you sure?
Logsdon? Do you prefer Cam Logsdon or Cameron?
Because you said it like a question. No, it's fine. I like either. Cameron, Cam,
Cam.
whatever.
I'm going to say Cam.
Cam, I like Cam.
I think I've always known you as Cam.
Cam is friendly.
Cam is
know what I mean?
friendly.
Cam is always friendly.
And you're a friendly guy.
I don't ever introduce myself as Cam.
Really?
Unless I'm like really talking to a friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want
You're trying to be smooth?
just because like, I don't know. My friends call me Cam. You know what I mean? Well, you could be a friend. You can call
I'm
me
sorry.
Cam.
I don't want to push it
Call
then.
me Cam. You're pushing it. No,
I'm
just
pushing
kidding.
it?
No. I like Cam. Cam feels familiar.
Awesome,
But
man.
yeah.
Well, this episode will look a little different. We are shooting it out of the podcast studio at the Big Laugh Comedy Club. This might be the first podcast ever shot at their studio. They just kind of set it up for us tonight. I was walking by, saw it was open. I was like, we got to shoot one.
It's a good studio. This place is hooked up.
You had a great set. You're absolutely ripping.
Thanks,
Good
sir.
stuff.
Did very well yourself. Opened it up.
Thank
Strong
you.
30 minutes.
Thank you. Please.
Almost didn't make the show.
I thought this. Okay, I thought the show was at 8. I thought the show. Fine, we'll start with hostility then. No,
All right, no.
I thought the show was at 8, and so I showed up at like 6:55, and I was like sending him text like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. You want me to pick you up anything at the gas station?" And then I looked at my phone and I was like, "Show's at 7," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is how much I empathize with what you're doing. I was proud of you. I was genuinely proud of you.
That I made it?
No, that you were here at 7. Because you thought the show was at 8.
Yeah,
But you were here at 7.
I'm always
Do
now
you see what I'm saying?
on the road.
I know you were wrong, but I'm not mad at you for being wrong. I'm not mad at you for being wrong. I'm proud of you for being so like an hour early.
Dude, I'm lame as fuck, bro. I'm
no,
lame
dude,
as fuck.
that's so cool.
Here's I'm an hour early
You
because
just
I
got,
do this.
if you get it right,
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna really
come
be
on,
something.
that's so professional. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Well,
not gonna lie,
could've
an
been.
hour early is good. I wanted to be here an hour early.
When did you get here?
I mean, I got here like 6:30.
Yeah, you're the headliner though.
You know, but I got here like
Headliners get
6.
it pulled
But
up
even
late.
30 minutes, 30 minutes is I think is appropriate.
Yeah.
How long do you what
No,
time do you
30.
usually get
If
to your
I
show?
was already in that town, 30 minutes, 40 minutes is like about good, man.
Yeah.
If I'm
30
going
minutes,
last on the show.
anything less than 30 minutes, I feel like, okay, now I'm kind of pushing. I always try to be at least 30.
Yeah, if you're
But I
last on
wanted
the
to be
show,
an
it's
hour.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
No, I had to open. I didn't even ask the questions like, what does the venue want me to? I didn't. Like, I just went on stage. Didn't
You
ask
had to.
anything, dude.
You had to.
Yeah.
But it came on and crushed it.
Thank
Did
you,
a great job.
Well, this is the Hardly Working Podcast. I like to talk to guests about formative jobs. You know, one of my employers. This is why I'm always early. He'd always tell me, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fired. So that's why I'm always early.
That's such like a boomer thing to say.
Bullshit.
That's such like a somebody said that in 1944,
and it never stopped.
and they were like, "Oh, that's good.
yeah.
I'm gonna become
Can
a
I tell you
manager
what?
just to use that."
The guy was a park ranger. His name was, dude, I
my
kid you not. It was a magazine. Ranger Rick is his name. He was a
No.
real guy. Dude, Rick Noctiborn.
Ranger
Dude.
Rick.
Right, dude. Real dude. Dude, the perfect name for the job. World War II vet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The most, the most.
I know his
grizzled-
ass was preventing forest fires.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, for sure.
He was preventing forest fires with a shotgun somehow.
Oh yeah.
He was fighting fire with firearms.
Don't you spread, because I will shoot you.
I'll shoot you.
You fire, you get back in there. Whatever you came
man.
from.
No, he was he was a real man.
Yeah.
They don't make him anymore. You have me.
Ranger Rick.
Yeah, dude, a real fucking man then. You have any formative jobs that stick out or anything fun?
Oh man, when I was young, I feel like I worked so many. I had so many like not good jobs,
Yeah.
and they didn't. Man, like minimum wage when I
Crazy.
started was $5.15.
Damn.
Okay. My first job, I was the first job I ever had. The first time I ever
Yeah.
got paid to do something. I was working. I'm from Omaha. The College World Series is in Omaha, and it's there every year. I don't know why the College World Series.
It is weird that it is there every year.
You watch College World Series? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Iowa State doesn't have a baseball team, but they do show up there.
Okay, so it's weird because like for me growing up in Omaha, the College World Series is like, it's everything. It's like one of two things we have: the College World Series and the zoo. Okay,
Oh, yeah, the big two.
And when I was growing up, they were right next to each other. At a certain point, they ripped down the old stadium to build more parking
real?
lot for the zoo.
That's wild.
But we kept the College World Series. They built a stadium that is virtually empty, with the exception of
Like 1 week of the year.
for the College World Series.
That's so sick. I've driven by. It's a very nice stadium.
It's fun. It's cool. My first job,
Yeah.
I was working at the old stadium, and they would let children,
Did it smell like
children
zoo?
work there.
Did it smell like zoo? I
It didn't smell like zoo. It smelled like ballpark.
Yeah,
It smelled like a ballpark. There was
that's
nothing
good.
wafting over.
That's good.
There's no wafting.
That's an important question to ask.
You know what I mean? I think the wind went the other direction.
That was good.
And that's why those college players look like they're doing so well in Omaha. They're crushing those home runs.
Oh,
But only
yeah?
because the wind is wafting.
It was in their way.
Just a little wafting. So I was working because they'll hire children, and my first job I was working. I was just like somebody would order something, I'd go grab a soda, or I'd get popcorn or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember my buddy got me the job, and the first soda I ever grabbed, I grabbed the soda and it was all fizzy. It was like extra fizzy, and so. I don't know if it was just my family or where I learned this trick or what it was, but if there's like an extra fizzy soda, if you put your finger in the soda, right, then that fizz it dissolves. The fizz goes away.
No, dude.
So that extra fizz goes away. So I said,
I hate where this is going.
I put my finger into the very first soda I have. Pop my finger into it. Just get that soda out. My friend looked at me, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm just making the fizz go away. I'm trying to get it less fizzy. Manager comes over, they're like, do you stick your fingers in that soda? I was like, yeah, for the fizz. And they're like, you're fired. What are you talking? My first job I had for like all of 20 minutes.
Bro,
so
fingers in the old Cam, fingers in the soda logs.
Fizzy fingers Cam. He got them fizzy fingers.
Ladies.
Ladies. You want a fizzy finger? All right. So that was like my first job I ever had.
Man.
And I don't know that like after that it got a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how old were you when you had your first job?
The day I turned 14, I got a job detasseling.
Okay, so you were detasseling corn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm from the Midwest too, so obviously Nebraska, we have people detasseling corn. But I was never tapped into
You're so good. No, I'd rather be fingers in the soda than fucking.
Oh, I don't know.
Labor.
I always thought it sounded fun because as I got older, I met kids that did it when they were kids, and I think that maybe because we were in like the city and stuff, so we didn't. They didn't have us, but I understand that like, what do they take kids and they put them on a bus?
Yeah, you
and then like
you go up at like 4 a.m. though, because you try to beat the summer heat. Yeah, I've talked about this before on the pod, but they try to beat the summer heat. So you have to get up at 4 a.m. You get there at like 5. They take you out to the fields. You work until noon until it's like too hot for kids to like work.
Children.
Yeah, and you're
Little
just like,
children.
and it's minimum wage. So you're like, that was the crazy part about it. So
I'm kind of surprised they're paying them at all.
You'd just be wet. You'd just be wet because the corn leaves still had morning dew on them when you got out there.
Yeah.
So and they would slap you and they would cut. They'd give you shirts because they would cut through your shirts, the leaves, because they were like razors. They're big corn leaves.
Yeah.
They're like thick stalks.
You just walk through the rows.
Sometimes you would, and then sometimes they'd put you on it was a tractor with like a bar that came out, and then buckets, like metal buckets that would drop down, and one person would be on the right side, one person to the left. You'd be sharing a bucket, pulling the tops off corn.
I feel like the way that the way that I could get such production out of children. Like, I feel like, I think the best way to do it is you line the kids up by height, and then you put 3 kids in each row.
Yeah.
You get a short one, a medium height one, and a tall one. And then they just walk through in like an assembly line, and the short one takes the low ones, and the medium takes the medium ones.
No, they're all the same height, though.
They're all the same height. Okay, well, then I don't know how corn grows.
dude,
and I'm from Nebraska. I didn't
No, dude, yeah, it was all the same height.
corn. I just drive past it.
You just kind of rhythm. You'd be like, shh, 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 shh,
Okay,
shh,
all right.
And some of them, like, dude,
I didn't hear the rhythm.
Nah,
but
dude. Damn, dude. Well, fuck me, man.
No. That's good. I'll show you had it with the corn. It's a corn rhythm. You know what I mean?
Trust me. Hey, put around some corn.
They're on the ones
at
at 3s.
Yeah. If you have rhythm in the field, does it ever count if no one's around to hear it? True story.
I don't know.
I fucked that one up, but I think heart was in the right place there.
Yeah.
That's good, man. No, children. It's crazy how like they just.
But yeah, 14. Okay, so
that's
that's. I think I was 14 also.
Yeah.
So right after that, then I got a job. I don't know why I went straight from baseball to baseball, but I started umpiring.
Oh, for
So
real?
I was umpiring little league games.
Crazy, and they let you do like 16 probably, or
no, I was 14. They let
Damn.
kids do it, and then as you get old, you just can't. You can't umpire kids that are like your own age.
Yeah.
Because I got some bullies and stuff. I would have taken that out on them for
dude.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Dude,
Demons.
there was this kid, and he wasn't necessarily a bully, but he was like, he wasn't nice, and he went to a different school. How about that?
Yeah.
And then we got older, he's cool, so if he ever heard this podcast, whatever. But this kid, Robbie, bro, he was like a full supervillain. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like a full supervillain in our rec baseball league.
Yeah.
And he would pitch. Okay, but this all right. So we weren't like
This is
like
gonna be
this
evil.
wasn't
Whatever this is. I already know it's gonna be.
this wasn't
evil.
select baseball. Okay,
Yeah.
this was rec baseball.
Yeah.
you get it's $15 to get in. You get a T-shirt.
It's not that real.
Okay, it's not real. And the T-shirts don't have names. They don't have numbers.
Yeah.
The T-shirts just have like a team name on it, maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me why this kid, when we were kids, bro,
I hate
this
that part.
kid would cut the sleeves off of his shirt, wear his hat backwards, and pitch the meanest fastball you ever did. The fastest arm in the entire town. This kid
I
had
love
a,
this
this
man.
kid had a cannon, all right? But he was like a full supervillain, bro.
Yeah, dude.
At least in my head at the time.
Well, you can't dress like that and not be good.
Dude, you can't dress like that when you're a kid and you got the chain and you got the backwards hat and you have no sleeves and you're throwing heat. You have to recognize you're not the hero on the field.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
kids movie, you're the bad
bad-
guy.
yeah.
Dude, he was a bad. And so if I had been umpiring his games, I for sure he would have never thrown a strike a
That's
day in
real?
his life.
Yeah,
never
dude,
would have
you
done
hate
it.
him,
I
bro.
would have lied every single
Like,
single
why are you
pitch.
trying like that?
Yeah. So you have to do younger kids. And so I would
That's the move.
I would, I started out, I think I was umpiring. They don't do it for coach pitch, which is like where the coaches throw the ball to the T-ball
Is
players
it
and
still
stuff.
T-ball?
It wasn't T-ball, but it was a pitching machine. Okay.
Weird. Okay.
But the cool thing about umpiring pitching machine was you got to put the ball into the machine and do the pitches.
Whoa.
Because they wouldn't let the other kids do it. So the umpires got to do it.
So you
there's
call
two,
everything's a strike. Well, it's a
two
pitching
umpires.
machine.
There's one that's, behind the plate, and then there was one that, stands behind the pitching machine
Yeah.
and puts the pitching machine ball in. And so we would always try to like fuck with the ball. You know what I mean? Like if you spin it in a different
Oh,
way.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you spin it counter to how it's going to kick out, maybe you could get it to do a knuckleball and stuff. So we were always doing stuff like that, and I thought that was a lot of fun. But
That's so
when I was
dope.
behind the plate,
You ever get a parent get mad at you?
dude, yes, all the time. Parents are insane. And
They're
I was
wild.
like, this isn't even. There's good baseball happening somewhere in the city, like
Yeah.
that expensive baseball where those kids travel
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
throw
yeah.
out their arms
And
before
they
they're
got the
16.
nice bats that cost
The
hundreds
nice
of dollars.
bats,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All this stuff. This was dirt ball.
I
You know
would
what I
love
mean?
that,
This was
dude.
not good baseball.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
No one here is making it to the World Series.
dude, not even close.
Yeah.
They'd be lucky if they got tickets to a game.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, yeah.
They'll show up with their fizzy fingers and then nobody's letting them through the gates.
Dude, calling someone fizzy fingers is my favorite way of like. It's like,
Oh,
oh, dude,
fizzy
they're poor as
fingers.
fuck, man.
Oh, you got them fizzy,
Fizzy
fingers.
fingers, yeah.
You know, it's fizzy fingers and a Kool-Aid mouth. You know what I mean? Like fizzy fingers and a Kool-Aid mouth.
That's so
I
funny.
know your ass was broke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay?
You know, yeah. Okay, come over to rec league.
You grew up playing dirt ball. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's
But
so
but
funny,
dude,
man.
parents would get so mad. And I remember one time there was this girl in the stands, and I was 14 years old. I had the biggest crush on this girl, and her
no.
little brother's playing, and her parents were there, and then the other team is there, and this kid,
pressure.
this kid slid into home. Okay, her brother slid into home. He was not safe. Okay, not even a little bit safe. Okay, tagged him. Everybody saw it. I saw it. The pitching machine kid saw it. Everybody saw it. She saw it. Tell me why. I thought it would be the smoothest thing in the world if I looked back at her, looked at her little brother, and said, "Safe." And you had to do. I got really good at doing the voice.
Too?
I would do the voice, dude. When I call a strike, I call a strike the most obnoxious. I would go ha. I would just let it link ha. I did a whole like I was
dude.
into it, man.
Those are good calls.
Dude, when I called that stuff, I hit it.
And then you look back.
I looked at her before I did it, and then I called safe. And I don't even know to this day if she knew what I was doing. Because why the fuck would she care if her brother was safe? Why would I think she would
Bro,
care?
that's so funny.
She'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God, he did this for my family. What a dowry. You know what I mean? No, dude, it wasn't. It was.
Bro, that's the smooth. Just thinking that is smart. That is so fucking smooth, bro.
That's why I became a teen parent.
$5 an hour?
Because I started early. All right,
Yeah.
bro. This dad,
$5 an hour and all the pussy you can handle.
the dad of the other team got so mad,
Yeah.
and he started yelling, and then he came out on the field,
And then he brought
was
out his hot
yelling
daughter?
Dude,
No.
he was if he had a hot daughter, I'd be like, I made the wrong call. We got to start the game all over. Dude, he came out and he was, dude, like fully yelled in my face.
Yeah.
Yelled in my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a kid, dude, and I felt terrible. Like I felt so miserable. And then like the other parents were like trying to calm him down. They felt, I think that they were reluctant to calm him down because they knew I was wrong. You know what I mean? And they're like, look, we don't want to defend this wrong ass kid who's a bad umpire, but at the same time, we can't let this grown man yell at this kid in his first
Do you think
job.
they saw you give her that look? Do you think, like in hindsight, really think about it? Do you think how smooth? Because it's one of those things in your mind. You think you're smooth, but in reality, it's this other thing. Do you think it was that sly?
You know what I bet actually happened?
Yeah.
I bet it happened so fast. Like I bet I looked so fast. Like
That's
I
what
looked
I'm
over
thinking,
so
too.
fast that nobody caught it. But yeah, exactly. Just a little quick little nod. Up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, I was shooting a free throw in a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Like it was the
hair flip.
slowest thing that has ever. I look back.
I just died in your arms tonight.
I was looking back. I said, "Ooh," and I look back. So, do I think they know? No, I don't think they knew.
No.
Do I think
No.
they wanted to defend me? I don't think they wanted to defend
That's
me.
so sick, man.
Did they do it anyway? Yes, they did. Did I get fired from that job also? Yes, I did.
Damn, two
So-
for two.
so two for two.
2 for 2. You're
I did not
unemployable.
start my career. I was unemployable.
That's so funny, man. The old fizzy fingers out here again.
Fizzy fingers. And those were like my first, those were the very
Those are
first
brilliant jobs, man.
I had.
That's
Very
brilliant,
first jobs I had.
man.
And then I think, I'm trying to think, those were both when I was 14.
You have any interesting coworkers? You don't have to name names, but
Dude, yeah. So I worked at like a party store for a while. It was
Party City kind of job.
Party City kind of job.
Yeah.
It was Nobby's. Nobby's was
That's an
was sick.
amazing name.
It was made up.
Nobby's is a happy elf.
Nobby's sounds like a happy elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Nobby's was not a happy elf.
that's your Dobby?
No,
That's your
I
Nobby.
was just- yeah,
That's
that
your
was to
Nobby.
say. Hey,
Honestly,
I just like doing voice. That's not doing. I just do voices.
not for nothing.
I just in
not
conversation.
a great Dobby.
Yeah.
Great Nobby.
Great Nobby. Yeah.
Great Nobby.
Dog shit Dobby. No, that would
The Dobby?
no.
Not a good Dobby at all. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Not a good Dobby.
This
But
is-
you got a future as a Nobby. I thought that was great.
This is Dobby, but he's got no hands.
Yeah, he's gonna.
He can't hold the sock up.
He's nubby. He's not. Oh
yeah,
no.
dude, he's the fourth. He's a house up and he don't have hands.
So, but okay. So the reason it's Nobby's
Yeah.
is because it was owned by this older Asian couple who were named the Watanabes. They weren't that old, actually. I don't know why I
okay.
say they were old.
Nah.
They were the Watanabes.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that they thought, all right, we're not going to be able to sell anything to these Midwesterners if we come in here with a name
Yeah.
like Watanabe. So they just shortened it to Nobbies. Oh my God, so fun.
So cute.
Okay, so fun.
I love that in the Midwest, if a store's named something, it's like named after the owner.
Dude, the reason why though they ran the store was because they were related to the guy that owns Oriental Trading Company.
Oh.
Oriental Trading Company just sells bulk party junk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Weird plastic
A
stuff.
12-pack of alligator guys that go on your
So
pencil
funny.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Just
know what I
like
mean?
the obscure dog shit that you
Yeah.
don't really need.
So I worked there, and so I worked at the party place, and obviously like Halloween was a big time for us. It was like the
Huge.
biggest time of the year.
Yeah.
They did
Quinceañeras.
like if not more than 50% of their business in just the month of October.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
wow.
They did a lot of business in October.
Crazy.
And so when I was working there, they hired so many seasonal people and all sorts of stuff that
yeah.
you know, if it's Halloween, all right, you're pretty busy. It's Halloween stuff. But the rest of the year, pretty dead. Like
Yeah.
very dead. You
Yeah.
know, not anything going on.
And you were full-time.
And I was
Year-round.
and I was working there. All right. So we were like just left alone. Like my manager, when I worked there for a few years, my manager was 18 years old. Okay?
I love that, dude.
My
It's so
manager
fun. You look back and you realize you're like, dude, they were a
Who
kid
put
too.
this person in? Oh, they got keys? Keys? A safe? What are you talking about? All right.
so
So they
much
left
fun.
all these kids alone in this like party store. It's
Yeah.
just full of like bouncy balls and like
Yeah,
hula
yeah.
hoops and costumes.
Oh, dude.
And like cardboard cutouts, like everything. Dude, so
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so much. We would just f around all the
pranks?
time. Just all the time. Just constantly just throwing shit across the
That's
store.
too much fun.
There was a guy that worked so that my manager, that 18-year-old,
Yeah.
he was like I don't know how to describe it. He was like Bear Grylls for a junk drawer. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like he could survive. He could make anything out of
yeah.
all the junk we had.
Oh, my
And
older brother's like that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, he would just build shit and just put shit together all the time.
Oh no.
All right, so we had to go on the roof, and we used to go on the roof because they had this giant inflatable pumpkin. All right.
Oh yeah.
And we used to go in. We'd have to go inside and like clean out the inside of the inflatable pumpkin.
Oh, that was that big.
Because we had to go up on the roof and put like decorative stuff all the time.
Yeah.
He had keys to the roof. Okay. Why give 18-year-old keys to the roof? I don't know.
Too
so
much
we would
fun.
go up on the roof and just like, I don't know, see which bouncy ball would bounce the highest off the roof or whatever.
too much fun.
He took some cardboard and we turned a cardboard cutout of Barack Obama into
I love that you
like,
had that.
like basically like I think it was like he was running. You know what I mean? Or something like that. We put like wings on him. Like cardboard airplane wings. You know what I mean? He was kind of like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I'm afraid where I know this is going.
He was like an Obama Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
You know, he was like to infinity and beyond. You know what I mean? Like he was that.
Yeah.
And so we put these wings on him, and then we would just like fly him off the building.
So sick.
And see who could make Obama fly the furthest.
That's so
you know what
dope.
I mean? And we would just keep going, yes, we can. You know what I mean? Like it was
change.
But honestly, nobody soared like Obama soared. Okay,
dude,
Obama had wings.
Did he get distance,
dude, because this guy was like good at it. You know, it wasn't like, oh, it just fell on the ground. Like he got distance on it. Like
that's so
Barack
sick.
Obama, I believe I can fly. Like he was fully
so dope,
all
man.
the way.
That probably got him the election for real.
It might have
People were
carried
like,
him.
Obama's like a little magical.
Not for nothing. I heard
been
he
drinking
sailed.
Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he did 2 terms. So you got your money's worth out of that fucking
Dude.
That's so much fun. The flying Obama is wicked. Sick.
And so flying Obama was a lot of fun, and we just did stuff like that. Like
that's
literally
brilliant, man.
all the time.
I love shit like that. No, it's like the worse the job, like the cooler the stuff you have to do to make it manageable.
Oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
if you start off like a nice like the more monotonous, like the more time you're given alone, it's like
Yes.
you know.
And the more boring the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the more monotonous. I had a buddy who we have this like toll bridge in my hometown, right? This like toll bridge, old ancient toll bridge.
Yeah.
And most people take the interstate, so nobody goes on this toll bridge. But it costs $1 to get across. It still costs $1 to this day.
To this day?
To this day, costs $1
What
to
is
get
it
across
even
that
for?
bridge. Why even there?
Yeah.
Why was it there to begin with, bro? He would bring his like PlayStation in and just sit in the little toll booth and like play PlayStation. But this was like,
did he work the toll booth?
Yeah, but this was
okay.
before you could like bring your games and stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So at the time we were like, what?
It's like a full setup.
You took your Sega Dreamcast to work, you know? And so we always thought that was the coolest thing, but it's like, cause what's else he gonna do?
Just gaming
He's
in a toll
literally
booth is so
bored
sick.
out of his mind.
That's
you know?
so nice.
Yeah.
And it's probably like a small concrete room kind of deal.
Yeah, it was just like a literal like a little shed.
It's crazy
With
how
an
those
arm.
jobs are like necessary. Like someone needs to manage the toll booth, and instead of like as
they?
society, no,
Do
you
they?
don't. No, they don't.
Dude, you know what pisses me off about toll booths? Because you
Dude, let me hear it.
drive a lot for comedy.
What's
You know
the
drives
deal?
me
What's the
insane?
deal with toll booths?
What's the deal with toll booths? Here's the issue I have. Why don't they just take a card? There's so many toll booths, and a lot of places are catching up. But like, they're always like, "Oh, we don't take cards. You have to pay in change,
Exact change,
or whatever." And I get okay, it'll slow it down or whatever. But half these people either have the pass or are lying about having the pass. So get them whatever. But like,
Yeah.
you're telling me that now I have to. You're gonna give me a piece of paper, and I gotta go in and do this, and now I gotta get on the internet. The internet.
Crazy. Well, I'm driving.
On the interstate?
Or are you like, am I getting? And the question is when I get there and back, am I gonna remember to go online, type in
Right.
And it's if you drive multi-state too, it's a different. So I have to go to tx.pay. It's like I'm not gonna remember the URL I saw on the road 3 hours ago.
That's how
Are you
I
shitting with
racked
me?
up hundreds of dollars in fees in Illinois and the Kansas.
Dude.
What is it? The Kansas Turnpike.
I hate that shit so much.
I hate the Kansas Turnpike.
So much because I was like I never remember to. I just got hit and Texas has it, man.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Do they take it? Do you have to do exact change?
Yeah, but I never do. I just go through. I just go through the light every time.
You have the pass.
I do now, as of a week and a half
How
ago.
much do those cost? We don't. I've never had to live. I never had to even look into it.
My problem was I had all of them, and it was like the actual tolls itself. This is crazy. The actual tolls itself came up to like $17, but then the late fees were $180.
See, I get the late
fees.
fees.
The late
but
fees.
because how am I supposed to remember that you didn't take a card?
I don't know, dude. 'Cause I'm driving. I just went to Houston one time. I didn't even like. You can either take the non-tour route that's 3 hours, or you can take the tour route that's an hour and 50.
Do you know what's crazy?
I mean, I'd rather save half my trip.
So like now, we took a road trip. My wife and I took a road trip not too long ago.
Beautiful.
And I brought like a whole, like a bag of change, like a literal coin purse. Like I felt like I was collecting taxes, Robin Hood. You know what I mean?
Gremlin.
Like I just had like a literal, you know what I mean? Like a bag of like quarters and change stuff. And she's like, "Why do you have that?" I said, "It's gonna be important." You know what I mean? Like I was like, "This matters.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
You don't want to get. Yeah, it's dangerous to go alone. Yeah, exactly."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "But yeah." So I don't know how we got on. Oh, Toll Booths. My friend worked there.
Well, what I hate is that every state has a different tag or thing. So I had the Illinois tag. I lived in Chicago long enough. And then I came here and it's like, we need a Texas tag. And I'm like, can we just have one tag?
I'm not trying to make them more money, but if it fixes our infrastructure, maybe make an interstate tag, a tag that you pay for to your home state, but you can use every road across the country, and you can always get the HOV lane or the pass lane or the fast lane, and then put toll roads everywhere.
Yeah,
and then just keep the. No, actually, no, never mind.
No,
never mind. Because now I'm just talking about charging people money to leave.
To leave, dude, they won't let you leave Texas. They won't let you
leave. You can try.
I can't afford. I don't have leave money, dude.
I don't have get out of Dodge money, man.
No, for real. Dodge City. Wait, no, it's Fort Dodge, Iowa. Never mind. I was thinking, what's the city that's on the border? It's Omaha. Is the Nebraska side? Is it Sioux City?
Sioux City. Oh, up north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sioux City's up South Dakota's Iowa.
Up north, and then what's
Nebraska.
the city right across from Nebraska? Is it Fort something?
From Omaha?
Yeah.
On the Iowa side?
Yeah.
Council Bluffs.
Council Bluffs. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's our Shelbyville.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
It's your token shitty extra city.
It's like when like a comic comes through town, like a headline or something, and they're like, "Hey, what's the town that we shit on
what's
here?
the one you make fun of?
What's the one we make fun of? Council Bluffs.
Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, I've said it for years. I want Iowa to annex Omaha so bad.
You want Iowa to?
We should take all. It's right on the border. It's begging to leave Nebraska.
It really is. You know, like 90% of the state's population live in Omaha.
I know. That's why I want it, dude. If we take Omaha, give us a sport team.
Like that's crazy.
That's wild.
90% of the whole state. It's a big ass state, dude.
It's a big ass city.
I mean, it's not Texas.
Omaha's a very nice city.
Omaha's
by the way,
a great city
for no reason.
It's a great city. I
It's
love
very
Omaha.
nice. It's like the last sign of civilization before you get into like the real West.
Oh, dude. Then it goes west.
Then it goes west.
Then it goes just prairie. What people think of Nebraska is most of Nebraska.
Yes.
But Omaha is
Omaha's
just like
very
it's
nice.
just like every other smaller esque city. You know what I mean?
It's
A top
nice.
50 city, it's exactly like all of them.
Yeah,
except for like
exactly.
the top 10, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, you get to like New York or whatever.
You're New York, LA, Chicago, Austin, but it's honestly
Yeah.
it's not. It's very similar to Minneapolis and Kansas City.
It's big enough, but it's not big enough to have like good public transit.
No,
That's the worst.
not good public transit. And I think that should be a category for cities.
Cities that have public transit, cities that don't.
Just cities that are big enough,
To have
but
like a bus system.
not quite. They need it, but they don't have it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's in most
because there's
cities.
some cities that like think they need it, but y'all don't need it.
No, you don't need it. No.
You know what I mean?
Des Moines, Iowa was like talking about it, and I'm like, okay. I'm
I think
like,
Des Moines would be all right. You know,
Des Moines could.
Des Moines and Omaha I consider sister cities.
I think so, too.
They should combine and get an NBA team or something.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Someone needs to figure it out, like, because that's what I'm saying, dude. We merge, we take Omaha into Iowa. All of a sudden, Iowa's population is big enough to justify a sports team.
I've never considered it. I've never considered Omaha leaving Nebraska.
Really?
That's not a bad idea.
If okay, Iowa takes.
I'm
Omaha,
always thinking
all
to
of a
myself,
sudden-
how do we make Omaha the rest of Nebraska?
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
I get
Because I think
that.
Omaha has such wonderful things to offer, and I like rural Nebraska.
See, this is the war. By the way, we're doing that polite thing where I'm like, it's like, man, I wish all races were the same. If only everyone was white, you know?
and
it's
I was like,
that.
well, if only everybody was Nebraskan.
Omaha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're doing, man, if only everyone was Omaha. And I'm like, yeah, if we were all equal, you know, like if everyone was Iowan. And you're like, yeah, like if we were all equal, like if everyone was Omaha.
But so that's always been where my mind is. But yeah, I think I would love
They need
adopting Iowa.
They need to take on one of the cities needs to be like a pro football team or like an NBA team. I think.
You know what I like about Iowa? Iowa is a forgettable city that people, or a forgettable state that people always reference when they talk about the middle of nowhere forgettable state. And it's like if you're like, oh, what are we going to be out in the middle of Iowa? You know, that's like the reference. Like in movies, in culture, if they reference the middle of nowhere, they're talking about Iowa. Yeah. When the presidents are going to go get down with the real Midwesterners, they go to Iowa. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and grant, you know, with the caucuses, whatever.
Sure, whatever. We get it.
But like, you know, it's Iowa. Nebraska is so forgettable. We're not even on the list of forgettable places that get mentioned.
Population density, it's so crazy.
They don't even talk about it.
You get past the Missouri
River. We can't even
get
made fun of. We're so forgettable.
Map,
we don't even make fun of it. They make fun of Iowa at least.
Kansas has fucking Dorothy.
Dude, Kansas has. We're not in Kansas anymore. They have one of the best,
iconic
one
lines.
of the best lines, an iconic catchphrase
The
for
Wizard
a whole
of Oz.
state.
They have a whole wizard. You guys don't even have that.
Does Iowa have like a catchphrase or something? If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. Yeah, that was the one. Oh, this isn't heaven. It's Iowa. It's a big one too.
You know what ours probably is, even though it doesn't even make sense.
What is it?
Get her done.
Get her done. Oh yeah, Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy's from Nebraska.
Damn,
but he doesn't have a Nebraska accent.
No, not at all.
That's like a Southern accent.
Yeah.
That's not a Nebraska.
Well, I mean, it's a character.
It's a character.
Yeah.
But you would think that like...
You guys in your character comedy.
Character comedy. Yeah.
Everyone's doing voices.
I should have just picked one voice and just done that for forever. Just double that.
Dude, you're just Will Smith. Everyone's like, why is the guy doing Will Smith on stage?
No, that's just like how I am.
Your whole act.
All the time, you know.
And now you have to like keep up with the facade.
Right. And I mean, what am I going to do, you know, because this is how I call my pharmacist. And I'm just like,
you have to
yo, are my pills ready?
And then you have to like fake it and like interview, like everything
interviews.
You have to do, like, because that's essentially like, I think it's iconic for like the reasons why most people don't think so. I think Andrew Dice Clay is one of the greatest comedians of all time because he's an impressionist. He used to he would do like a Jersey Boy. He would do like a nerdy scientist. And then he would do the guy from Greece. What's
Grease
his
guy.
name? The fucking
Travolta.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
And then the Italian mobster was the persona that stuck. And then he just had to keep doing the impression.
Keep doing it.
And he's just like, oh, now I got to keep. And he hated it. He's like, he's talked about it in like interviews recently where he's like,
it's interesting.
He's like, no, I'm just a Jewish guy from Queens.
He's Jewish?
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, he's not even Italian. He's Jewish.
He's not Italian?
He's Jewish. He's fully, dude. It's fully
I
a
figured
character.
he was hamming it up.
Dude, Dice
I
Clay
didn't know he was
fully
fully not even Italian.
No, he's not even Italian at all, dude.
What the fuck?
He's a Jewish guy from like Queens, but his whole thing is like, Hickory. I'm not. I did.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, that's
are
why
you fucking. Are you gonna tell me that Sebastian's a fucking?
Sebastian Maniscalco. Sebastian.
Is he fucking Norwegian or something?
That'd be
like,
crazy.
Are you kidding me?
But that's why
dude
Dice Clay's amazing.
Not even Italian.
But he's stuck with one impression. Everyone now just thinks it's him.
You just blew my mind.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, I didn't know. That's crazy.
He's just a Jewish guy who loved doing like Italian characters as a kid, and then it became his whole thing, and now he's like stuck in it for like 50 years.
That's insane.
I love it, dude.
I don't want that.
If you had to be stuck in one character forever, like it was like your thing on stage, like, you know, behind the scenes, like you could be you. Mm-hmm. But like on stage interviews, you had to be a character. If you had to pick like one, what would it be?
On stage character?
On stage interviews, like it was your Larry the Cable Guy. You know what I mean? Because he's not actually that. Like Dice Clay is not actually that. Mm-hmm. Not to ruin it for anyone. If you were stuck in like a persona, it doesn't have to be a voice, or it can be a persona or whatever.
Yeah.
Or an impression. You were stuck in it.
You know what I kind of wish I could be? Because I feel like I'm an extrovert. You know what I mean? I'm an extrovert. I like people. I want to be around people, and I like being out, you know. And so, but I'm also like very high energy. Yeah. I have a tendency, and on stage, I keep the energy up.
Yeah.
I would love to be one of those comics that has to write like half the amount of material because it's all just, you know.
So slow or so fast?
Good.
Damn.
And there. Like, I wish that I had the talent.
You just be a one line, like
to be able
energy.
To be one of those guys that goes up there and is just like, you guys ever?
Ooh. Okay.
Nah. Well,
just slow.
Nah. They get just. It's it just seems like I feel like every time I get on stage, the moment I feel that one bead of sweat start dripping, then all the beads of sweat start dripping. And now I'm like, oh my God, is my back wet? Oh, do I got under boob sweat? And my armpit, am I pitting out? Because like the energy is up and you're going through and you're having fun. You're doing, it's whatever, but you're like getting hype. But like those slow guys, they'll never break a sweat.
It's
They'll
so
never break
cool,
a sweat.
dude.
They just chill. And so that's the persona I would take on.
You okay? So the exact opposite. That's brilliant. That's fun.
Yeah,
That's a great answer.
What would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
I just love doing voices. I mean, I've been doing this like it's like not even the same voice every night. I'll just do like a random Southern gentleman.
Okay.
I just love doing that.
Could you do that nonstop?
No. I love.
I
like,
bet you could.
I probably could.
Dude, not for nothing. Nowadays, you gotta have something.
I'll just do voices.
You gotta
on stage,
gotta have like a memorable thing.
Yeah.
And if your memorable thing is you're like that with that long hair, you throw on a 3-piece suit, some linen.
That'd be fun.
Honestly, that character would blow up on the internet.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, it would crush online. You'd be stuck in it forever. But it's also a character that will age well. You know what I mean? In terms of like,
I'm gonna get old.
like
Yeah,
you
get
could
gray
do
hair.
that act at 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't, because there's some things you can't do. Like if you're the what's up with that guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't be like the you can't do that until you're 70.
There's a
but
comic
you
I
could
was
do
talking
old
about. His
Southern
whole, he's
gentleman.
like an internet comic.
Yeah.
But he's a great live. But his whole thing is like, I'm young and ironic and rebellious, and I don't write jokes. And it's like, the other day I saw a photo of him, and like he's like balding in the center, and I was just
Yeah.
like, and he's still on stage being like whoopsies, I irony this, irony that. And I'm like, oh, bro.
This was a headliner
can't-
you worked with
yeah.
recently? I think
I think we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it off camera.
No, I've seen it. You
But
know
it's like-
what?
it's like-
But you're
it's like-
right,
but it's like,
though.
bro, you're going bald
You're
now.
right,
Like,
because
you can't be the
how do
quirky
you
little
keep
kid
that
anymore.
attitude?
You gotta rebrand
You gotta
it.
be a certain level of
You gotta take a hard
lost in the
pivot.
sauce.
Yeah.
But that old Southern gentleman,
I say I've never seen
you'll
you such
have a
fine
harder time
specimen of a man.
pulling it off. Like you still look young.
Yeah.
Like, but you'd have a harder time pulling it off for like the next 10 years. But after those 10 years, that's just 10
Then I
years
really
to practice. That's just 10 years into. But then that's one of those things that like you can hit that stride early.
Do you know who Larry Reeb is?
Mm-mm.
Uncle Larry. Dude, he's old, like 70s now. Gotta be.
Yeah.
He's Uncle Larry's his stage name.
Okay.
And he's like his whole thing. He's like a pervert, like gross
Oh.
old uncle guy.
Okay.
But the older he's gotten, the
Better the act is.
Because now he's 70, and everyone's like, dude, that guy really is just an old, gross uncle pervert.
Holy shit, you're right.
Like
it became more authentic.
Yeah, when he was like in his 30s, it was
What if
like
it was
weird.
the whole time? What if he was still an uncle pervert? Or maybe even just a pervert. And
No,
then
he is.
and then he became an uncle, and then he became old, and our pervert's growing up right before our very eyes.
And we're like, oh, he's freaky. Aw. He used to be kinky. Now he's freaky. He hit that age.
I think it could age well. I think it age well.
All right.
Feel
Well,
age
speaking
well
of
with it.
things that's aged well, your act is good. You murdered tonight.
Thank you, man.
Cam, what do you want to plug? Do you have anything you want to plug real quick?
No, just check out my socials, at Cameron Logsdon on everything. I do a lot of impressions and voices and stuff online. But if you don't love those, or if you want to see something a little different, come see a live show because we're doing stand-up and we're doing
live.
jokes.
You gotta
We're
see
doing
him
real
live.
jokes.
All right. That's an
Yeah.
episode.
All right, cool.